I'm MLF Pro Circuit angler Clark Ream here at Lake Eufaula, Alabama. This is day one of the Pro Circuit event. Practice has not been, let's just say it's been interesting. The water's been dropping, it had been high. So that drop in water has had some of these fish pulling out of the shallows. We're kind of in a weird transition between spawning fish, those fish getting offshore post-spawn, getting on brush piles and things. The brim beds really haven't started forming yet. So fish are all over the place, all different stages of the spawn, which is gonna make it for an interesting event because nothing is just great right now. I've committed to shallow fishing. Unfortunately, over yesterday, the off day, the water's dropped even further, and I think it's bottomed out at like 188. And I think they closed the gate, so it should be on a slow rise at this point, which should make the shallow bite even better. But we'll have to see. I've got a two-prong approach going on. First thing in the morning, I'm going to run a bunch of water willow grass, trying to get some cruising fish. I know where a few fry garters are. I even found a couple fish on beds on the last day of practice. I'm not banking on those fish being there, but they're not really big anyway, so I don't know how much help they're going to be in the grand scheme of things. But if I need a keeper, it's an option to go run and get one of those fish. But hopefully I can catch a few fish first thing in the morning on a grass line deal. It's not a shad spawn situation. I couldn't find any quality fish on a shad spawn this week. And I heard the same thing from a bunch of the guys that I work with and talk to. And everybody's kind of crying the blues on that part. We're also taking out, about 6:30, but we're right on the, we're launching at 6:30, but we're right on the border of Georgia and the time zone line. So it's actually about 7:30 on one side of Lake Eufaula and it's 6:30 on the other. So therefore, the shad spawn's going to be dying off. We're going to catch the tail end of it if that was the game plan anyway. But the game plan is, like I said, run this shallow grass deal, maybe pick up a fry garter or a bedfish or two, going a pop-ar and a swim jig and some other stuff. And then the second part of that is I'm probably gonna go run docks. Whenever you're scrambling around or junking, having a target or making, feeling like you have a pattern you're actually running, and docks are a high percentage deal. I'm gonna do, again, a 1-2 punch. I'm probably gonna flip dock post, with a Cinco or a jig or something of that nature. And then I'm probably gonna throw a swim bait or a jerk bait out on the outside edges of it. The fish might have pulled out to the end of the docks, with the water dropping, and they may be moving back up, further up the dock, as the water's rising. So hopefully we can pick up a few fish doing that. When you look at the weights on this lake in the past, there's been some home run deals, like when Buddy Gross won last year in the Bassmaster event. But the tournaments I've seen, here in May, there's some outlier guys that do really well weight-wise. And then it seems like there's, the rest of the pack, gets 11 to 14 pounds a day and has success and makes a bunch of money. So, a lot of that's going to be dependent on getting a bigger bite. But this is a lake, I think, where quality is there, where you get, multiple 3 to 5 pound fish to end up getting a bag. It would help to get a big kicker, but, big fish here usually seems to be a high 6 or a low 7. So, you're going to need to just try and target and catch these 3 to 5 pound fish. Real quick, we're going to go over what's on the deck of the boat first thing this morning. I'm going to kind of scan over it and talk about some things really quick. Again, keep in mind, along with my what's in the bag videos, I really don't have tackle sponsors that, I'm basically whoring out. So I'm going to just talk about whatever I got on the deck real quick. As you can see, I've got 2 spinning rods on the deck. One of them has just a 4/0 Gamakatsu hook on there, and I'm probably gonna throw a weightless fluke around the grass. This other one is my go-to. It's on a Dobbins 703 Fury spinning rod. That is my go-to Cinco dock skipping setup. I've got a rod with a 3/4 ounce spinner bait. Eufaula is famous for big spinner baits. It might be best to roll that around some docks. I've got a real small popping frog, Spro popping frog right there. I like the tiny one for certain things, especially if I'm catching cruising fish or if fish are finicky. It might be I go to a bigger one later on if I'm trying to get a bigger bite. They got a new 70 size that I'm liking. Looks like a big bluegill, but you know, with the shad being kind of small right now in the morning, doing the shad spawn. I've got the little popper on. On this rod, I've got a Texas rig. I'll put a Cinco on there with a real light weight that I can pitch around grass or on dock pilings. Got a little swim jig right there. You know, you can't go to Water Willow Lake without swim jigs. I'm experimenting around with this new reel here by Bruin Reels from Sportsman's Outfitters. So, you know, it's kind of scary going with a new product, but you know, I'm liking those reels so far, so we're gonna try it out. Over on this side, I've got several jerk baits. That's a duo, it's a 2-hook one. I've got a little bit bigger hooks on it, and it's not gonna dive nearly as deep as that Megabass 110+1. You know, that's gonna be for the outside of docks. This will be for the inside of the docks. Around laydowns, I'll probably go with this one. It's got a little bit heavier line on that one. This one's got 10-pound test, so this one will get a little bit deeper. I've got a Black Label Tease, which is, I've played around with a bunch of the different prop baits out there. That's hands down my favorite when they get around brim beds. And there are, you know, brim up shallow. They're just not full-blown bedding yet. I've got a Yellow Magic that's been beaten to hell and back. You know, if I'm target fishing, see a little shade patch, a lay down, something like that, it might be I pitch that up there. But then I got 2 big boys going on. I've got a Babe swim bait, which I've talked about that in a video. That's a harness one, belly hook, you know, and this is the one I skip underneath docks. And, you know, if I end up getting a quality bag, I'll probably go head hunting and skip that the rest of the day. And then I've got a Scottsboro tackle. I think that's a 7-inch. You know, and I've got it on owner beast hook, so if I'm around laydowns or a brush pile or something of that nature, I'll be able to throw that weedless one through there and try and get a big bite. So, I'm Clark Ream. This is the Elite Angler Academy, day 1 of Lake Eufaula MLF Pro Circuit. Hopefully, we got a good report this afternoon, and we're going to try and do some more of these, you know, daily guerrilla style videos coming up in the future. So if you like this video, subscribe, like it, show your buddies. I'm trying to grow this channel up, and wish me luck this week at Lake Eufaula.